My name's Jeff House. I'm Director of External Affairs and Policy at Baxi. So we've got a new government in place. The incoming Labour government with the Energy Secretary Ed Miliband have got some significant challenges to start to really get into with decarbonisation. So we have direction of travel in place, we have a legally binding target for net zero, but we also have the upcoming Carbon Budget 5 where we're going to have to seriously start to look at decarbonising heat. When we start to think about decarbonising heat, there's a lot of technology mix on the table. There's different things we could deploy. It's looking likely we're going to see a largely electrified product group going in the future, in which case there are three things we really need the government to start to think about in terms of accelerating the transition. New buildings, we have the Future Homes and Building Standards coming through, which will effectively resolve the issue in that area. Retrofit is the challenging part, and we have to seriously look at millions upon millions of homes and businesses that need retrofit and decarbonisation. The first thing we'd need to talk about then is the spark gap. So that's a technical term for the relative cost of natural gas versus electricity. So at the moment, retail electricity is roughly 4 times the cost of natural gas, so a 4-to-1 ratio. That means if we're looking at a natural gas counterfactual, so we're moving from a natural gas boiler to a heat pump, for example, there's not necessarily a running cost saving to be had. So therefore, shortening that spark spread, shortening the spark gap, and making electricity more affordable is going to be critical to rolling out heat pumps in volume. The second challenge which we would like the government to address is EPC reform. So an EPC is an energy performance certificate, which largely looks at the running cost of a property rather than the overall environmental and emissions benefit from the property. So there's been talk of EPC reform for a while. It's something that we need followed through. EPCs need to become a robust and useful metric in the future so we can start to look at low carbon options for our clients. So the third challenge is local support and guidance. When we start to think about decarbonisation at scale, it starts to become apparent that there are different areas of the country, different types of housing tenure and different styles of housing that would operate in different ways or have different solutions that might work, be it a heat network or individual heat pumps for argument's sake. So there's a role there, we believe, for local authorities. There's already talk of local area energy planning, and there's also expertise from manufacturers and other supply chain actors that can help with offering that advice. So there's a certain need, we believe, for impartial and trusted advice from government, which is where this ask really comes about for the new government. To wrap up, it's clear the new government want to move quickly with some of these things. So it's going to be necessary to keep up to date with what's happening. You can look at our website, which is www.baxi.co.uk, or speak to your local sales manager who can answer questions on these matters.